Just moments ago, Marine veteran Daniel Penny surrendering to the NYPD. He is set to face charges in connection with the chokehold death of Jordan Neely.
So you've seen that. It seems that, as we predicted, the NYC Marine is being charged for second-degree manslaughter because, trying to defend people and trying to prevent a man from harming others is against the law in New York City, and you can just go out and be charged. Here's my advice to you all. How about get the hell out of New York City? Make sure that you are in any other state that is not New York City, preferably not California or Portland, and maybe trying to make your way there, because currently, if you try to defend yourself, you're arrested. If you try to defend people, you're arrested. So what's the point in being there? So what we'll have from this is an NYC Marine veteran charged in death of man making threats and scaring passengers, which didn't seem to be the case from what we've shown with the previous video. We have several nurses observed Mr. Neely making threats and scaring passengers, said District Attorney Joshua Stenglass, as Penny, 24, stood silently wearing a suit with his wrist cuffed behind his back. The defendant approached Mr. Neely from behind and placed him in a chokehold, taking him down to the ground. The prosecutor said Penny's arraignment on one count of second-degree manslaughter. So, yeah. Without further ado, guys, let me show you the actual video here of what happened and what's happening unjustly to Daniel Penny.
Just moments ago, Marine veteran Daniel Penny surrendering to the NYPD. He is set to face charges in connection with the chokehold death of Jordan Neely. Todd Pyro is live outside the 5th Police Precinct with the latest. Todd?
And Ainsley, within the last 10 minutes, the attorney for Daniel Penny came out here to address the media, basically saying his client is ready for what is about to come. He's dealing with what's about to come, but reiterating that this is a man who has devoted his life to service to our country. Just moments before that, in the video that you just showed, at around 8:01, a black SUV pulled up to right where I am here in front of the 5th Precinct in New York City, where Daniel Penny got out quickly, made the quick trip up the stairs and into that 5th Precinct. It all took about 10 seconds. We are here because DA Alvin Bragg's office confirming the retired Marine will face a charge of second-degree manslaughter for the killing of Neely, who was reportedly acting erratically and threatening passengers on the subway moments before the incident in question. Neely's family is demanding Penny face consequences for his actions. Quote, Daniel Penny's press release is not an apology nor an expression of regret. It is character assassination and a clear example of why he believed he was entitled to take Jordan's life. In short, his actions on the train and now his words show why he needs to be in prison. But Penny's attorney says, quote, when Mr. Penny, a decorated Marine veteran, stepped in to protect himself and his fellow New Yorkers, his well-being was not assured. The unfortunate result was the unintended and unforeseen death of Mr. Neely. We are confident that once all the facts and circumstances surrounding this tragic incident are brought to bear, Mr. Penny will be fully absolved of any wrongdoing. Now, if found guilty, Penny could receive 3.5 to 15 years in prison. As you recall, for days, protesters took to the streets demanding action, calling Neely's death a murder. More protests are expected today, but there is not much in the way of protest activity, if any, out here right now. The entire processing behind me here inside the 5th Precinct is expected to take about 2 hours. Back to you.
All right, thank you, Todd. Let's bring in Geraldo Rivera, co-host of The Five. Good morning, Geraldo.
Hi, Ainsley.
Hi.
How are you, Ainsley?
I'm doing well. What are your predictions, though? What will happen to Daniel Penny?
Well, he'll be charged with manslaughter in the second degree. It will be a very vigorous trial. His attorneys will surely invoke self-defense. Self-defense allows that a person using deadly force may not only prove that they feared for their lives or someone else's life, but that they were reasonable in their conduct. In other words, was Daniel Penny reasonable in his use of force to stop Jordan Neely? Now, Jordan Neely was an aggressive homeless person, over 40 arrests. He had an outstanding warrant for an alleged assault on a 67-year-old woman that was still outstanding, so he should not have even been on the streets. I just urge people to remember how this case started when we heard that the Marine had saved his fellow passengers from this aggressive person. Even the mayor said at the time, Mayor Adams, riders have a right to defend themselves in a transit system that serves as a homeless shelter for aggressive homeless people. That's what he said initially. It was only after the protest that Mayor Adams said Jordan Neely's life mattered. It is a tragedy. I'm sorry it happened. I think that the Marine has a very vigorous defense. My problem with what he did, though, as a veteran street fighter, did he go too far? Was there a point where Jordan Neely was subdued, where Daniel Penny could have stopped his chokehold and let Jordan Neely live? So I think that will be the question, whether or not a reasonable person would have held that chokehold on Jordan Neely, bad as he was, for as long as he did. And I think that question of reasonableness, Ainsley, will be the key to this case.
Do you think the city is charging him just because of all these protests? Because this happened last week.
I think that that's a big part of it. As I explained the arc of Mayor Adams, first saying, well, you're justified in a city where the subway is a homeless shelter, and then on the other hand, Jordan Neely's life mattered. That came after the protesters on the tracks and the family and their pain. This is a tragedy. This is horrible. Sorry this ever happened. However, the Marine has a good defense. The question is whether he stopped soon enough. He was even told by others standing around that, you're going to kill this guy. Ease up, and he did not. So I think it'll be a close case. It'll be an interesting case to watch, and it will be wrought with racial tension, Ainsley.
It's tough for people like you who have grown up, fighting professionally, and for a Marine who grew up, learning how to defend himself. If you see harm being done to someone on the subway or on the streets, it's hard to step back and allow the violence to happen. Most people would step in and be good Samaritans and try to help the other person. And now people are going to stop because they're going to be so nervous that something like this can happen to them.
Yeah, so he's being charged. Here's what I'm going to get at, honestly, guys. Since the courts are heavily in favor against these type of people, I'm pretty sure he's going to be sentenced for 15 years in prison. I'm pretty sure he has no chance of being able to get out at all. I think he is doomed. So, yeah. I guess the New Yorkers kind of want for this. So, New Yorkers, please, by all means, just let your city fall. Hopefully... honestly, wishing the worst for you, because at this point you deserve no praise. You deserve nothing of niceness to happen to you, because you will convict an innocent man of killing somebody that was not innocent at all. Oh well, I guess that's what you get for trying to help people and trying to protect their lives. That's it for the video. Like, subscribe, share. As always, take care.